fight's end. As we look at our tail of the tape for this welterweight bout, Chris Curtis, as I mentioned, 30 years old. That's 3 years older than the 27-year-old who trains out of Boston. Lally, a 2-inch height advantage. Chris Curtis has a 1-inch reach advantage. For this, a fourth bout of the night on episode 1 of season 2 of Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. The referee is Herb Dean, and he claps him in. Sean Lally is in the gray, and he is the underdog. Chris Curtis in the red, a sizable favorite at minus 750 tonight.
Well, you know, Curtis is coming into this one very confident, actually predicts that he will stop this fight within 2 rounds. So, bold words, and straight away we see Lally, though, trying to use those leg kicks. Obviously, Mark Delagrade watched a little tape and saw that he's susceptible to that. But Chris Curtis said, actually, he said, people seem to think they just need to kick my legs to get a win. Obviously, looking at his record, that doesn't really work out. Curtis just taking his time, reading the situation, backing him up.
And for Chris Curtis saying, entering this fight, he hasn't fought a 3-round fight in a while. He has been training and fighting mostly in 5-round bouts for belts outside of the UFC. He has won plenty of championships, but of course, he wants to win inside the octagon.
You can see the experience of Curtis. He's using nice feints there, trying to pull something out of his opponent, trying to get them to counter so then he can counter the counter.
On the other side, Sean Lally, he has spent time at middleweight, dropping down to welterweight for this matchup with Chris Curtis.
Here we go. Beautiful uppercut there by Curtis.
Uppercut from
straight
Curtis.
Up the middle.
And Sean Lally acknowledging this will be the toughest fight, the toughest opponent that I have faced in my professional career as a veteran of 10 fights. Oh, big uppercut from Lally.
Body shot there.
Oh, Curtis starting to move in as well.
There's those boxing skills that I talked about. Put it together, nice combinations, work the body well. See, again, there's that feint. Went in, pulled away, drew out an attack from Lally. What he should have done was go back in, but still, he wasn't quite in position with the feet.
Nearly 2 minutes into this first round. At welterweight, Sean Lally looking to put one on the board for Team Sit Yotong tonight after Rico DeShulo unsuccessful against Montel Jackson at bantamweight. A couple of lefts land from Chris Curtis.
I was going to say, you can see the confidence from Chris Curtis because the hands have dropped, and he came in with a straight left there, but Lally made him pay for it. He counted him. He made him eat one as he came in. So Curtis shouldn't get too overconfident because Lally's a big man and he knows how to punch as well. Ooh.
Swings hard, blocked by Chris Curtis.
That one was blocked, but if it got through, there was a lot of power. You heard the impact.
Left lands, oh, and a big swing. And Curtis able to slip out of the way.
Yeah, the left landed right on the chin there.
Well, nobody looking to go to the ground in this one. 3 minutes in, first round. It's been Curtis who has been backing up Lally for most of this fight.
Curtis doing a good job of cutting off the cage, not following him around. Your opponent goes to the right, you follow him, you mirror him, you keep him backed up against the fence. It's a big looping overhand left there. Lally keeps throwing every time. He connected with it a second ago. That seems to be his primary weapon right now. There it is again.
Under 90 seconds to go as Lally looks to push forward.
And Curtis has that lead right hand low as well, so that's actually a good punch for Lally. He'll find some success and he may connect with that. Switches it up, throws a nice head kick. Curtis gives him a little grin, says no. He's going to watch that overhand left, I'm telling you.
They return to the center with about a minute to go in the first of 3 rounds. And welterweight. Left hand cross lands for Curtis. What a combination.
Nice. He's bleeding, keep him bleeding.
You heard the corner. I believe that was Sam Alvey, and the one and only. He's bleeding, keep him bleeding, as I was just about to mention the cut on the face of Sean Lally.
What are we doing? You have 30 seconds, Curtis. Get that punch count up.
Actually, good advice from from Sam Alvey there. He's got to get that punch count up, got to get busier. It's been a pretty close round.
Big left looping over the top again from Lally.
Every time he's throwing that, Lally, he needs to follow it up with the right hand. The left is missing, follow it up with the right hand. He connected there. Curtis Smile says, you know, that didn't hurt, but the fact that he's smiling, we all know, we've heard this before, it means it connected.
Curtis fires the right in the final seconds and slides out of the way. First round gone. Let's listen into our corners now with our corner cam brought to you by Grunt Style. Grunt Style, this will defend.
Take a little one. Let's use that range now. You're letting them get away with kicks too. An uppercut is there.
You let him backing up, taking the pressure on. You're starting to get him backing up.
Cross, come with something else. Cross, come with the uppercut.
I did land that elbow. I did land it.
Land it again.
Yeah, I will. Slicing and dicing.
That's good advice from Sam Alvey there. He says, I did land the elbows as well. Landed again.
And it's interesting, we talked earlier about the pressure cooker that is the Ultimate Fighter gym, and it's not a giant arena. These corners kind of have to whisper the instructions to their fighters so that the opponent does not hear it on the opposite side.
That is annoying sometimes when your corner's shouting out a technique that you should throw, and you're like, I was just about to do that until you shouted it. Now he knows. Straight left there from Curtis, landed flushly on the jaw.
Right back to the center to stand and trade for each of these two at welterweight. Well, it looked like the counter shot landed quickly from Curtis as Lally moved in. Again, it's Chris Curtis, 18-5 as a pro and a minus 750 favorite against the former Army Ranger Sean Lally, and certainly showing poise in the center of the octagon as he looks for his big shot. Looping right and left from Sean Lally. Curtis shakes it off. Lally goes to the body as he moves forward 1 minute into the second round.
You know, Curtis seems like the more polished boxer, but he's shaking his head there as if to say, Lally, that's not effective. But if the opponent's being busier than you and almost connecting, you know, he could be stealing away with this round. So, I mean, we're still early. We've still got 3 minutes 45 left, but Lally's fighting with a more sense of urgency, so to speak. He's throwing that overhand left. He threw a nice uppercut there. That's what he's got to do. He's throwing that overhand left. He's got to follow it up with the second and third punch every time. Just one isn't enough. But just like the first round, now he's backed up against the fence.
And again, as we've seen in the Contender Series last summer, it's not about getting the win added to your record. It's not about being the calm, cool, collected fighter with more poise and patience. It's about showing a highlight to the big boss who's sitting in the front row.
Well, yeah, it is, but it is also about winning. You got to win, you know. That was a nice job by Curtis. And again,
there's
that's
the cross
it.
that lands. The 1-2 wobbles Lally, and he continues to work.
And a nice
fires a knee.
well.